welcome back to my channel today, and we are doing a brand new Sims 4 build challenge today. And so today, I thought it'd be kind of a great way to start the year off with face cam, but also do a brand new build challenge, because I honestly enjoy and thrive, I think I thrive in doing build challenges, because they're always a newfound way of building something different and kind of expanding your creative skills in the Sims 4 with building, landscaping, all that jazz. So hopefully this goes really well and you all like it. I hope. So anyway, for the shell challenge, I wanted to make sure that this shell wasn't too complicated, too big, not too small, but just the right size for y'all to kind of dibble-dabble around and see what you can come up with. But personally, I already know roofing's going to be a little bit difficult for most of you all, including myself. I literally hate roofing because it's too much work. But my only rule for the shell challenge is do not touch my walls. And if you don't know what that means, basically, do not move my walls forward or back. You cannot delete my walls. Don't do that. But what you can do is you can change the wall height if you would like to, up or down, depending on what your style of furnishing and stuff like that you would like to do. But yeah, you can change the wall height if you would like to. You can add a foundation to it. You can also move it up or down if you would like to. You can use half walls to use your roofing if you would like. Feel free to do whatever you want as long as you don't manipulate my walls. So for this year's shell challenge, I let you all decide on what I should add, and you all decided for me to put in a basement. And I personally think that basements are just a lot more work to do because you have the first floor, the second floor, and they have like an extra bit in the house that you have to decorate. And so personally for me, I would never do one, but you all said add a basement, so I added a basement, and you got it. You're welcome. But either way, let's go ahead and hop into the speed build. So now that we're into the speed build, I honestly have to say that this home didn't take me as long as I thought it would because I already knew what I wanted for the roofing, but for the entire layout and how I was going to furnish the home took way too long. So personally, I had to cut a few things out of this build just because it took a little longer than I expected, like the landscaping for the most part. I didn't take out the entire thing just because I know that you guys like to see what I do with my landscaping. And of course, this year I have planned out everything I need to do for a building tutorial where I go step by step on how I build my houses in The Sims 4. Personally, how I do it. It might not be the correct way or, the unique way, but it's my way on how I build my houses. So hopefully you guys are excited for those tutorials to see to the channel in the future. But for this home, I wanted to make sure that this home had enough space for at least 3 to 4 or maybe 5 Sims at the most. So I added in a 2-bedroom, 4-bathroom home, which sounds kind of crazy to think about why there's so many bathrooms. But granted, I have a story behind it on why there are that many bathrooms, and also why the house doesn't have a lot of space or, a lot of room for improvement or expansion, whatever you want to call it. Nevertheless, like I said, I had so much fun making this home the way it was, especially with the landscaping, mostly for the exterior and I guess also one of the bedrooms because, like I said, 2 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, but there's a basement. And so if you didn't listen to the beginning of the video, like I said, you can skip through the timestamps that are down below. This is a shell challenge that I'm doing, so everything about the shell challenge are in the description below, but also in my Discord. In case you ever want to try out my build challenge, you can check it out. It's on the gallery under the hashtag Spring New Year, and also under my Origin ID, which is also SpringSims, in case you're curious. But for my version of my shell challenge, I'm only doing base game only because I told myself at the way beginning of last year that I wanted to do more base game or limited pack builds because I know not a lot of people have every single pack or only have like certain fews and just don't really have the funds. Like, these packs are expensive. Like, I'm not kidding. These packs are expensive. I cannot afford these if I could. So, like I'm just saying, these packs are expensive. So I wanted to be able to kind of give back to you all where I just do limited pack builds more often, where I just don't use onesie twosie things from certain packs, because if I only use like one item from like one expansion pack that you don't have, it wouldn't make any sense of actually using it. So from now on, hold me accountable. Let me know. if you want to see more limited pack builds, because personally, I will do them. And I already have a new idea for a build series that I want to do, like a real-time build series of building a suburban home. I know. Very, very unique, very original. I know. It's just so great. But I think it'd be kind of fun because I know how to build suburban homes. I guess, because, I mean, granted, I live in a suburban area, so I'm surrounded by suburban homes literally 24/7, 365. The past 24 years, I've lived in suburban areas. So I think I kind of know what they look like. So I want to definitely do like a real time build and show you all the struggles and the bits and bops and what I do and how I make them and such like that. For me, it's all in the landscaping. That when in doubt, cover your mistakes with plants and trees, as I always say. If you have a mistake that looks like an ugly side of the home, cover it with a tree. Just cover it with a tree, please. Bob Ross always said, there's no mistakes, only happy accidents. So the ugly side of your home is just a happy mistake. Yeah. I didn't say it. Bob Ross said it. Bob Ross is still a legend. True and true all the way through. I'm just telling what he's saying. Okay. Anyway, I just feel so excited. I don't know. It's the new year, new vibe, new channel, new shell challenge. I just want to be able to talk to you all. I'm so excited for this year because there's so many things in my brain that I want to do for videos that I've been wanting to do since last year. And now that I can be able to do them at ease, it feels more easier. And the story behind this build is that I had an idea of, I'm putting this in my save file to let you all know. I have an idea. So there are actually it's a single parent, the dad and the toddler, along with their grandmother. And so the grandmother, she's not old. She just lost her home because it caught on fire, as one does. You know, Sims homes, they catch on fire every single time because they don't know how to cook. But granted, this one was just struck by lightning and the fire just spreaded through the entire house, which was not a great time. And the grandma lost everything. Her name's Susan. Susan Greenfield, which is the grandma, and George Greenfield, and then Alice Greenfield. Susan lost her entire home, lost everything that she owned in the fire, which is so upsetting to think about because things like that happen in real life all the time. And so when Susan lost her home, her son was like, "Hey, you can live with me. I have enough space. We can convert, Alice's bedroom into your bedroom, but kind of have a shared bedroom. She's old enough where she doesn't cry all the time. She doesn't wake up at random hours. She's basically sleeping on her own schedule. She's like 5 years old, so she's like pretty much mature at this point. A mature toddler who has great skills." And so Susan was like, "Okay, fine. I can live with you. I don't really have anything to really give you. I don't have no clothes, no furniture. I have nothing." So what he did, he went out and bought some stuff to renovate the home and kind of get things situated. And he knew that his mother loved, chess and piano and the arts and everything. So he made sure that he had all the things that she wanted / needed to kind of still conduct her business here and there for herself and for her well-being. And since they had a basement, what Joe did, I'm going to just call him, I think I called him something else. Joe Greenfield, Susan Greenfield, Alice Greenfield. Joe, what he did is that the delightful child son that he was, and I guess is still, he decided to go ahead and actually convert the entire basement into a book club for his mother. And Joe is a great guy. And what he did, he sold all of his stuff, all his belongings, all his sports equipment and other things that he had not growing up, but more like his college days that he didn't really care about anymore. He just sold all that stuff because it was decent. It sold for quite a bit of money. So he sold all that stuff to kind of make the downstairs more for Susan and her style and how she does things and how she wants to be able to kind of live her day to day. And she's retired. So she had a job as a teacher for about 50 years. And then so she retired after that. And she's now just doing her own thing. She got her pension. Her retirement funds are settled on in as we go about. And Susan, you know what her book club is called? Gracefully Delight Book Club. of Willow, or not of Willow Creek, of Newcrest. Gracefully Delight of Newcrest. That's the book club of Susan's. Yeah, that's the book club's name. Interesting time. They're graceful. They're very delight, but with Susan and Karen, they don't go well. So if you don't remember, I had a speed build that I did, like, I think 2 years ago at this point. It was a base game only home, very expensive. Like, I think it was 4 floors at this point. Um, yeah, I forget what Karen's book club was named, but it was named like Delightful something. Oh, I think it was like Delightful Digest or something like that. I cannot remember, but it was something along Delight Digest, stuff like that. And Susan and Karen, those book clubs are rivals. They do not get along together. Karen is like a 30-something-year-old woman. She lives in Willow Creek in a suburban area, whereas Susan, she's retired. She lives in Newcrest, but they are just rivals. They don't get along. And so it's just basically just them living their lives as it's golden day by day. And Joe, he was married at one time, didn't work out. It just ended really badly, might I add. Very badly. Where you know who? The lovely mother that she was, not Susan, Joe's ex-wife. Joe's ex-wife had an affair with somebody else, but that's a whole other thing. Granted, she was dating 2 people at the same time. Joe didn't know until like later on, until like Alice was like 3 years old. That ended really ugly. So we don't talk about her anymore. We just pretend that she does not exist. Granted, she does pay child support every now and then, well, every year technically, for Alice's birthday, large sums of money. So they're not really struggling per se. This house is literally over, I think around 150,000 simoleons. Yes, it's over 150,000 simoleons on a 30 by 20 lot. Pretty snazzy, pretty good, if I do say so myself. And personally, I'm excited to see what the future holds for Joe, Alice, and Susan, because personally, what I'm going to do is actually do a creative sim video of them, you all will, and how things will turn out for them. And plus, I'll expand more on their story, of course, because the more I talk, the more I have to say about these Sims, and it's just going to be a good time. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and actually wrap up this voiceover right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but let's go ahead and hop into the real-time tour. So now that we're into the real-time tour, you can already see the house has come along pretty well. I personally think for a base game only home, over 120,000 simoleons, it can only fit 4 or more Sims. It doesn't look that bad, to be honest, because I used a lot of like debug and made sure I sized things up and sized things down to make it look a little bit different here and there. And I think from now on, I might do a lot more limited pack builds for my speed builds, just because they're always fun to do, and it's kind of cool to see what you can come up with in the end. And personally, for base game, it doesn't look that bad. Like, not to toot my own horn here, but I personally think base game is actually pretty good. So for the second floor, I added a toddler bed and then this like single bed. And in my mind, I had like an elder sim living here. So like you have the elder sim, the toddler, and the parents, or the single parent living here. And that's what I kind of went with here. So it's like a shared bedroom and then like the master bedroom. And I added in 2 bathrooms here. One is like a small hallway one, and it's like kind of like the main one for like the master bedroom. And I guess also for this bedroom over here, just in case you want to have more stuff, You can also transform this into a nursery if you would like to. I just made it sure that it had enough room for like a bathtub and a toilet. But then for the first floor, I was having the most difficult time trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And it didn't dawn to me until I had to go back to do the beginning of the video that there was a basement for this home. So I quickly actually remodeled this little office right here that you saw at the beginning of like the speed build portion. It was already fully furnished. It was different. Yeah, I changed that. Decided to put stairs right here for the basement, and it worked out pretty well. So I went with it, and there you go. But I added in a dining room over here, the living room, kitchen, and play area are all open planned. And I personally am not good at open plan whatsoever. I don't know about you. Like, comment down below if you love open floor plans more than closed off. But then for the downstairs, I made a home, like a base game only home, like many months ago. I think it was like last year or 2 years ago. I don't really remember. I will leave a link down below in the description, but essentially it was Karen's suburban home in Willow Creek that I built. And I had that thought in my head. I'm like, wait a minute, Karen's house in her basement was like a little book club area. What if I actually replicate that for this home? And so I did the dang thing. And of course, you got your bathroom and then also your storage area. And this is also, I intended to stack things up and put things on the floor to make it look like it's a storage room. They don't hang anything up onto the wall, so everything's on the floor. And I actually like what I did. So I want to do more storage rooms, but more fully cluttered to see what I could come up with. So for the backyard, all we really have back here are the monkey bars, the chess table, the grill, and then the 2 planter boxes in the back. But there's also one in the front, just in case if you want your Sims to decorate their front yard a little bit more than their backyard. If you know what I'm saying, just because, the neighborhood must thrive in landscaping for me. But that's kind of the entire house of what it looks like throughout the entire thing. Hopefully you all enjoyed the speed build portion, doing face cam videos here and there and such like that. But in all in all, I'm very excited to see what the future holds for The Sims 4, if we ever get cars, generations, bunk beds, all the things. But until then, we shall wait. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and actually wrap up this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!